Lesson 9.5, Video 5. Here we have a more interesting situation. There's no trinomials in the denominator, but there's a binomial. So again, let's clean up some things. We have a subtraction problem, so let's make it adding a negative, knowing of course that that's a negative times a binomial. So this becomes minus v minus 3. So that was important. That's a place where many mistakes occur. I look at the denominators now and I see that there's a binomial which I should factor if possible. So if I factor that, meaning I take out the v, I get v plus 8. Now that helps us more clearly see what is needed in every denominator to get the common denominator. The first fraction has a v plus 8, the second has a v, and the third fraction has both. So the common denominator needs a v and a v plus 8, and that is the common denominator. What are the excluded values? V cannot equal 0 or negative 8. Because if I plugged a 0 in for v there, the denominator would become 0. If I plug a negative 8 into there, that binomial becomes 0. So those are excluded values, and if I get a solution that's one of those two, then that solution is called extraneous. So let's get that common denominator now. The first fraction has a v plus 8, so it needs a v. The second fraction has the v, but it needs the v plus 8. And the third fraction has everything it needs, thank goodness. So I have v times a binomial. So if we distribute that, we get 2v squared minus 10v. The second fraction is two binomials being multiplied. So if I FOIL that, I get negative v squared minus 3v minus 8v minus 24. On the right side, it has everything it needs. So that one can be written as is. Let's clean up the left side. If I put these two together, I have v squared. These three can go together. Negative 10 minus 3 minus 8 is negative 21v. Then we have minus 24. We still have a v squared, so I have, which makes it quadratic. So we have to set everything, or get everything on one side set equal to 0. But in that process, I notice my squares cancel, which means I do not have a quadratic equation anymore, so I can just solve for v. So if I do that, I'm going to subtract 2v, which gives us negative 23v minus 24 equals negative 35. Add 24, and I get negative 23v equals a negative 11. Divide both sides by negative 23, and v equals a positive 11/23. You could get the decimal, but that's the exact answer. I look back to the original problem and I see my excluded values are 0 and negative 8. That's not one of those, so this works. This ends Lesson 9.5, Video 5.